Right guys, in this video I'm going to go through the database task of the practical paper from 2017. So let's just go straight to page 7 where we can see the database instructions, the database task instructions. So it goes on to say, open up the database OPR 2017, and it just points out that it's got 3 tables: Walker, Coastal Walk and History. And then it just asks you to go ahead and open the Walker table, and it gives a description of what the Walker table is. So let's go ahead and open the Walker table. Here we go. So you've got multiple fields here. You've got Walker ID, title, first name, last name. So this is information about people, and they are the Walkers. Just to quickly browse to this table as well, Coastal Walk. So this is the name of the walk, the distance, where it took place, and it's got a rating. And then you've got history table, which is linking with Coastal Walk and Walker, and it's just using information from those tables. Okay, lovely. So let's go back to Walker, the Walker table, and let's see what the first task is. So this is just giving you the description of the structure of the table. So just make sure you read that when that is, when it's your time to do this task. It goes ahead and then it says, open a new document using word processing software, set the orientation to landscape. All right, so here is my page already set up. If you want to change the landscape, you go to layout, orientation, and then you switch it from here. So this is a landscape document now. Let me just zoom out so you can see. Here we go. And then it goes on to say, enter task DB1 followed by all these details in the footer of the document. Okay, so for the sake of just speed, I'm just going to type DB1 and just put my name there, center it, close. Okay, there we go. So just make sure you get used to putting footer information in, and you know actually how to put a footer on a document. It then goes on to say, save the word process document as task DB1. So let's make sure we do that. File, save as, and then you save it where you need to save it. I'm just putting it on my desktop for now. And you save it as the file name, task DB1. Make sure you are saving the file name as instructed. Okay, lovely, right. It then goes on to say, Leonie wants to add a new record to the Walker table. Add these details to the Walker table. Right, so let me just size this over here. Let's get the database table up, and let's scroll down to the bottom here. Okay, so let's go ahead and sort this information. I think I've already been playing around with this, so it's already, there we go, sorted out. Here we go. Let's do that again. Right, so let's go ahead and add the Walker ID, which is 134. Add the title. Notice here it says DR for doctor, and the R is in lowercase, but we don't add it lowercase here. We add it uppercase. Why? Because you have to match the formatting as it is in the table. If you don't, and you make multiple mistakes like that, you actually don't get the 2 marks. You don't even get 1 mark. So if you make more than 1 mistake, I'm pretty sure you don't get any of the marks. So just make sure you go for all these marks. So Agnetha is the first name. Make sure you are spelling these names correctly. Andersen is the last name. Address 1 is 5 Hill Street. So 5 Hill Street. There you go. So that's in title case. That means a capital first. And then you've got address 2, which is in all capitals. So Denholm or Denham is in all capitals. There we go. And then we've got the postcode. Make sure the letters are capitals. Make sure there's a space between G27 and then 9EM. Why? Because of this formatting that's been applied before. We've got to make sure it's consistent. Same with the phone number. Make sure after you have entered the first 5 digits, you've got a space followed by the next 6 digits. So 135. And then the last couple of fields, we've got gender. It's got the full expansion of the gender here. So we've got female there, but we enter F here because, again, keep it consistent. And then the last is the date of birth. We've got 9th of August 1988. You can see here in which format they have added the birth date. They have added it as DDMMYY, yeah? So date first, then month, then the year. So just make sure you follow that order. Okay, so the date is 09. The month is 08, and the year is 1988, just as they have done the 4 digits for the year. Okay, so that would get you 2 marks just for doing that. Right, then it goes on to say, sort the Walker table in alphabetical order of first name within alphabetical order of last name. Okay, so when it says within, that means you do the sort that comes after the word within first. You do that first. So it says within alphabetical order of last name. So that means you do last name first. So let's go ahead and sort out last name in alphabetical order first. You can just do it this way. There we go. And then we want to do it by first name, but we don't just simply click here. Remember, you go to advanced when you want to do multiple levels of sort. So you go to advanced and then advanced filter or sort. And this has already been added here because I clicked it already. You can go straight to advanced and then advanced filter sort and do both of the levels of sorting here. But whatever, you can do it this way as well. So last name in ascending first and then first name in ascending. Once you have selected your options, you select toggle filter and then it goes ahead and it actually applies it. Double check that it has actually applied the sort. An easy way to do it is to find a surname which appears more than once and then look ahead to the first name and see whether they are in alphabetical order. It is true here. It is also true here. So we are okay. Right, what next? Save the Walker table. All right, so let's just press save. You can just right click that and press save. And then it goes on to say copy and paste the sorted Walker table into task DB1. Right, so you can copy and paste by going to the top left hand corner, clicking it once, and then selecting copy, and then going to your table here, oops, and then just clicking paste. Lovely. Okay, so it's gone across onto 2 pages. It just goes on to say make sure all the data is displayed and easy to read. So it doesn't necessarily say make sure it's all on one page. So this is fine. At least you can read everything. If you feel like things are a bit squished, then you can just like upsize some column widths. Some items might be forced onto like multiple lines, but you can just sort that out by clicking on the edges of the table and then just making sure that everything can be seen easily, as well as whatever can be on a single line is on a single line. All right, that's enough. That's all right. Actually, let me go this way for this. Obviously, I can carry on upsizing from the right side, but I'm just going to sort it out here. There we go. Lovely. Okay, that's done. Okay, what next? Let's see. Resave the task. Okay, so we just resave, which means you just press save. Resave doesn't mean you save another copy. It just means save over the file, so update the file. So make sure you're not making multiple copies because it can get confusing and then you might end up saving the wrong file or printing the wrong file for the examiner. We don't want that. Okay, answer these questions on document task DB1. So C part 1 is suggest a suitable validation rule for the title field. Okay, so let's have a look at this title field. So what validation rule would suit? What validation rule would suit that? Let you have a think. Just set this up. Okay. So obviously we can see here, one thing is that every entry has a maximum of 2 characters. So that's one thing you could specify, that the field size could be restricted to just 2 characters. So that's one thing you could say. So let me just add that down as option 1. So field size could be restricted to, not restricted, that doesn't make sense. Restricted, spell it properly, to 2 characters. Or you could say that certain options are only allowed to be entered. So we can see here we've only got Dr. or Ms. or Mr. And you can see that from up here where you had the description of the title field. It actually says here that the title of the walker can only be Mr. or Ms. or Dr. So it's actually restricted to those 3 entries. So that's actually your clue as to what the validation rule could be. So you could say here, validation, so title can only be, which order was it? Doesn't matter which order it is in. I can't spell today, what's up? Here we go, right, Mr. or Dr. or Ms. Okay, let me just put that here like this. Okay, so that they are 2 different answers. So you could say that one or you could say that one. They are 2 different answers for part C part 1. Okay, what's the next part asking? Explain why validation rules are used in databases or in a database. So why are validation rules used in databases? So you can have a look at, you know, the example validation rules that have been given here and have a quick think as to why we use validation rules in databases. So one option might be that you simply restrict the data length. I really can't spell this morning, I'm so sorry. The data length. Here we go. So that's one option. That's what you could say. Another option you could say is it limits the range of values that can be entered. Okay, so that means you can only enter Mr. or Dr. Or Ms. What you can actually give as another reason, but which is linked to this one, it prevents errors. Oops. It prevents errors, or there are far less likely to be errors if you have restriction on data entry. So for example, if you accidentally typed DS and you had no validation applied, or perhaps the only validation you did apply was that only 2 characters can be, you know, entered here, but you didn't specify which 2 characters, and then that could be a problem here. So that's why having validation rules is quite important. It prevents errors. Yeah, and then a final reason could just simply be it maintains consistency. Oops. It maintains consistency of data entry. That's fine, you can say that. Okay, so everything is entered, you know, the same way, or it follows certain rules. It's clear that it's following certain rules, so it all looks and is, you know, excellent and fine and good. Right, okay, that's database task 1 done. Okay, I don't think there's anything else here. Resave task DB1, and this is where you would print. All right, lovely. So this is task DB1. This is what you would print, not the database itself, but this is your evidence of your work. So resaving, remember, is simply save. So you can click on the save icon, or you can go to file and then save. And then that is the end of task DB1. Right, the next video is going to go through how to complete task DB2.